So it's pretty apparent that I'm a very big Frozen fan. I have several videos parodying Frozen on this YouTube channel, and yes, I'll admit Frozen is definitely far from a perfect film, but I'm not making this video to review it, but more or less bring up something that has always intrigued me. Everyone knows that one song, that song in the film that many may still love, but also at this point just hate. You know, this one.
Born of cold and winter air and mountain rain combined.
Just kidding, not that one. Even though that song is pretty cool, as it literally tells you half the plot before it happens, aka foreshadowing. But not to digress. Yes, this one. But let's fast forward here. There's one particular part of the song that intrigues me. It's when Elsa says,
"My soul is spiraling in frozen fractals all around."
Did you hear that?
My soul is spiraling in frozen fractals all around.
Elsa just said her soul is spiraling in frozen fractals all around. Yes, fractals. Our never-ending, infinitely complex patterns and our natural phenomenon or mathematical set that exhibits a repeating pattern that displays at every scale. You see them in everything, such as trees, leaves, food, the human body, and yes, snowflakes. But I'm not making this video to talk about how awesome fractals are. I want to draw attention to the fact that Elsa basically says that her soul is spiraling in frozen fractals all around. Her soul. So does that mean that every ice sculpture, ice staircase, ice castle, magical dress, snow monster, and Olaf have part of her soul inside of them? Does she lose a bit of her soul every time she creates something new with her powers? Does that mean everything she creates is basically a Horcrux? A Horcrux is a powerful object in which a dark wizard or witch has a hidden fragment of his or her soul for the purpose of attaining immortality. Therefore, Elsa can basically be immortal. Therefore, Elsa is Voldemort. No, Elsa's not Voldemort. They're both two entirely separate films, featured in two entirely separate theme parks.
Wait, what?
But let's look at this for a second. Elsa says in the lyrics to Let It Go that her soul is in all the frozen fractals all around. So that's proof that her soul is in everything she creates. But then you can say that they probably just wrote that into the lyrics because it sounds cool and flows well. I feel Elsa's soul is in everything she creates. Just listen to what Olaf says in this scene.
Look, Sven, the sky's awake.
Now listen to what Anna says in this scene.
I just can't. The sky's awake, so I'm awake.
Think about it, Elsa was stuck in her room her whole life, having to conceal all the feels to stop herself from freezing everyone and letting it all go. And when she finally does let it go, she creates Olaf, and probably poured an extra amount of her soul into him, giving him life and part of her happy, enthusiastic, elated self she's held bottled up for so long. It was all transferred to Olaf, which explains why he's so obnoxiously enthusiastic about everything.
Oh, look at that. I've been impaled.
Olaf is a big part of Elsa, and Marshmallow is part of Elsa. The ice castle is part of Elsa, Elsa's dress is part of Elsa, but all this has to cause something, just like how Horcruxes physically disfigure the person who creates them and dehumanizes them. I mean, look at Voldemort. That guy has no nose. Elsa, with losing parts of her soul, has to cause something. And now comes Frozen Fever, the short film sequel to Frozen that played before Disney's live-action version of Cinderella. But with Frozen Fever, the main point of the film was Elsa being sick. She literally has a cold and then a fever at the end of the film. But how can Elsa have a cold? She's the definition of cold. The cold never bothered her anyways. But it all makes sense why she has a cold. She's lost so much of her soul. She's literally dying. Even worse, those Snowgy things that pop up into existence every time she sneezes are just more bits of her soul leaving her. Why do we say God bless you when someone sneezes? Well, according to Wikipedia, the trend started as far back as AD 77. Some offer an explanation suggesting that people once believed that a person's soul could be thrown from their body when they sneezed. So God bless you was used as a shield against evil, or encouraging the heart to continue beating. But let's track back a bit. It was thought sneezing could throw a person's soul from their body. And look, every time Elsa sneezes in Frozen Fever, a couple of those new Snowgies form. Literally, her soul is being thrown from her body. Those Snowgies may look all cute and innocent, but they're literally running away with parts of Elsa's soul and killing her. The short film ends with Elsa sick in bed and Anna taking care of her. Spoiler alert. But I unfortunately don't think Elsa will get any better now, unless she can somehow figure out how to get those parts of her soul back. Perhaps that's the plot of Frozen 2. Elsa's incredibly sick and Anna needs to figure out what to do to help her. With of course the help of the trolls. Because they obviously would know everything and all the information on what to do. They're magical rock troll things.
There is strange magic here.
And that's it, just figured out the plot to Frozen 2. Maybe not.
Wait, what?
But in the end, is any of this true? Absolutely not. Nor does any of this matter, but it's still kind of cool to think about. So thanks so much for listening to me ramble on and on and on about nonsense, essentially. Just going crazy, trying to figure out something that is pointless. But thanks. Hope it was entertaining. That's all that matters. Feel free to check out more videos on our YouTube channel. There's a bunch more to come. There's also a bunch of hidden videos. If you wait till the end of the video, there's usually hidden annotation links. Or during the video, there might be a hidden annotation link that'll pop up somewhere. It only works on the computer, so if you're watching on your phone, the annotations won't work, so... Why do I like Frozen so much? I mean, it's an incredibly flawed film, but because when I saw it, I was just going through so much annoyance with trying to get my film made and trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. I'm still going through that. It actually hasn't ended, but Frozen was kind of this thing that helped reinvigorate happiness in a way. That sounds weird and whatnot, but... And then I went to Disney that year too, for the first time in forever. For the first time in 10 years, and that really reinvigorated so much happiness that I had literally bottled up inside of me for so long.